All right, let's jump right into this explainer and break down exactly what you need to know to absolutely conquer the AI-powered intelligence and insights portion of the AB-210 exam. Look, if you're gearing up to become a Microsoft Certified Dynamics 365 Sales Functional Consultant Associate, you already know the deal. AI is completely flipping the script on how sellers operate. This exam, the Accelerating Sales Pipelines with AI and Dynamics 365, it's specifically testing your ability to take complex business requirements and turn them into incredibly efficient, AI-enhanced workflows. So today, we're putting a laser focus on how to actually configure those intelligence and insights features. We're going to distill the official study guide down into the absolute must-know concepts for test day.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with how to ace the AB-210 exam, move into speed and routing work, tackle conversational versus relationship intelligence, dive into scoring deals and summarizing, and wrap up with your exam prep strategy.
Okay, Section 1. ACE the AB-210 exam, also known as the 20 to 25% pillar.
Let's establish the stakes right out of the gate. To earn your certification, you have to hit a passing score of exactly 700. Not 699, 700. Which means every single configuration detail we talk about today really matters. The exam is going to heavily assess your ability to deploy, manage, and monitor agents in sales, plus how you tailor all those AI-powered intelligence features. When you are sitting there in that exam chair, there is zero room for guessing how these different features interact. You have to know it cold.
Now, when you break down the actual skills measured on the blueprint, one specific area absolutely demands your attention. It's the Optimize AI-driven sales pillar. This single domain makes up a massive 20 to 25% of the entire exam. Think about that. Up to a quarter of your entire potential score relies on your ability to confidently configure the sales accelerator, work assignments, and conversational intelligence. If you want to hit that 700, you have to completely dominate this specific slice of the test.
Moving on to Section 2, speed and routing work, getting the right task to the right seller.
Microsoft absolutely loves testing your ability to eliminate sales friction, so you want to pay very close attention to this two-step distinction. Step 1. You configure the work assignment. Think of this as the brains of the operation. This is where you define the logic and the rules for who gets what based on things like seller capacity, their specific attributes, and their territory. Then you have Step 2, the sales accelerator. You configure the accelerator to step in, take all those rules, and actually queue the tasks up to display a prioritized list directly to the seller. So work assignment does all the heavy routing logic behind the scenes, while the accelerator is the actual user interface the seller clicks on to execute their day. You've got to keep that sequence straight for the exam.
All right, Section 3, conversational versus relationship intelligence, the intelligence showdown.
Now this next part, it is easily the biggest trip up for test takers. You are almost guaranteed to get a scenario question that asks you to implement an AI tool to analyze interactions. For example, a manager might need to figure out why deals are suddenly being lost, or maybe a rep needs a warm introduction to a brand new key stakeholder. Both of these scenarios need intelligence, but they require entirely different features within Dynamics 365. So, which one do you actually configure?
Well, here is your cheat code for this. Conversational intelligence acts as your call coach. It is literally analyzing actual call transcripts, keeping track of competitor mentions, and evaluating seller workflows to improve the actual words being spoken on a call. Relationship intelligence, on the other hand, is your networking map. It scans through emails and meetings to map out exactly who knows who inside an organization. Actually, think of it more like a corporate matchmaking tool, not a call coach. Conversational is all about what is being said, whereas relationship is all about who is being connected. Memorize that core difference, and you'll nail those scenario questions.
Let's hit Section 4, scoring deals and summarizing. Basically, the ultimate time savers.
So, let's talk about the configurations that act as massive productivity multipliers for a sales team, starting with predictive scoring. Here's the core concept you need to lock in. Configuring the predictive scoring model is entirely about using past data to automatically prioritize the leads that are most likely to close. The exam expects you to know that this isn't just AI magic happening out of nowhere. It requires historical data of both your wins and your losses to properly train the AI model. Your job as the consultant is to fine-tune it so that sellers are guided straight to the opportunities that have the highest statistical probability of a win.
And of course, when the exam tests you on Copilot, you have to know that its primary configuration purpose is to securely augment workflows. A huge part of this is record summarization. This allows your reps to get the complete gist of an account in mere seconds, rather than digging through months of random notes. You also have to configure secure data access, which ensures sellers are only seeing the AI insights they actually have permission to view. add in intelligent opportunity research, and you're essentially configuring AI to do all the heavy lifting of data aggregation.
Finally, Section 5, your exam prep strategy, resources, and next steps.
To wrap things up, let's quickly review Microsoft's official study toolkit. Your Learn profile is where you'll handle scheduling, the self-paced modules are great for soaking up the theory, and Microsoft Q&A is there for community support. But listen, the one resource I want you to heavily prioritize is the exam sandbox. Test anxiety is a real thing. Getting in there and clicking through the sandbox lets you explore the exact user interface long before test day. That way, when you're actually taking the exam, you're focused purely on things like the difference between conversational and relationship intelligence and not stressing over how to navigate the testing software itself.
So we have officially broken down the exact requirements for the AI-powered insights portion of the exam. You've mastered the difference between routing logic and the Accelerator queue, you know how to fine-tune predictive scoring, and you understand deploying Copilot for summarization. The theory is now fully in your hands. But as we all know, theory only gets you so far. The real question is, how are you going to apply these concepts in the exam sandbox today to absolutely guarantee you hit that 700 score? It's time to dive into your Learn profile, get your hands dirty, and go ace that exam.